Happy New Year and welcome to 2026. I thought I'd start out this year by looking at the games that are going to be coming out in 2026. So today I've found these games that are gonna be coming out from Denmark throughout the year. There may be more. These are the ones I've found, and these are the ones that are officially announced to be coming out in 2026. I've heard rumors of other games that are coming out in 2026, but haven't been able to find anything official on them. So this is the ones that I'm gonna show. There's quite a lot of games and quite some big games as well. For example, there's James Bond. It's a James Bond game coming, being developed in Copenhagen. I'm really excited for that one. I really hope that they're gonna make part of the game, James Bond game, run in Copenhagen now that they're developing it from Copenhagen, but we'll see. They're also developing it from other countries and cities. There's also another huge game coming, a medieval game, Chronicles Medieval. Looks like a huge war game of a sort. And then there's a bunch of smaller indie games coming out, all of which also look super exciting. There's a virtual reality game. There's a stop motion game, like made physically, models made physically and then captured through motion capture. I will be streaming some of these games with the developers, not today. Today I will just be looking at the trailers for the games and just kind of going through what's gonna be coming out of 2026. But next week I'll be joined by a developer from Teacup Games to look at the game Helldive that they released in 2025. But also maybe Pigeon Guild, which is a game that they're developing right now and will be coming out this year. I'm not sure if we'll be able to play that next week, if they have a demo that we can look at, but we'll see. I also have a few other games coming up with developers. I'm not entirely sure of the dates yet because it's been Christmas holidays and everybody has been on holiday and haven't been able to really say if they can do a stream and when they can do a stream. But I will probably be streaming Void Crew with one of the developers on the 19th. It's a multiplayer game, really fun, chaotic. You're on a spaceship and you are multiple crew, but there's always more tasks to complete than there are people to complete them. So you run around and you try and communicate who's gonna do what. I've been told that it reminds a bit of a game with submarine, trauma. I don't remember the title anymore. But I'm also probably going to be streaming Sea of Rifts with several of the developers. It's a game where you have a ship and a crew, and I think it's a very story-driven game where you sail around in a kind of dark ocean, and you have to overcome certain dangers and keep track of your crew. It seems like all the crew members are quite important. But of course, I shouldn't be talking too much of that. We'll be looking at that soon. Lastly, I'll say that for the streaming schedule, I'll probably also be streaming Planet Life, which is my favorite mobile game. So I'm really excited to stream that one. I don't like a lot of mobile games. I'm not a big mobile game player, but this one I absolutely enjoyed. I'm gonna be streaming that for sure at some time with the developer. I know the developer, we worked previously together on Trailmakers. So I know we'll be doing that at some point, and it will probably be February 2nd. Then there's an upcoming playtest of Vault Breakers, and I'll be streaming that one. Hopefully I'll get some of the developers on board. Would be really nice to have some of them on board to talk about that one. And Darkswarm, which is the first one we're going to be looking at. They're also going to have a playtest at some point. That's not this one, Darkswarm. So, Steam, of course, goes straight into the trailers right as we go, but just make sure that the quality is there. I'll put on the trailer, and then I'll talk a little bit about the game afterwards. Alright, seems like there's another video also, but let's just let me say a few things first. Let's say Darkswarm is an online co-op top-down tactical shooter. I played this a few times already. It's great fun. From the trailer, the only thing that I didn't... the only thing that felt different to me from the trailer and the game was that from the trailer I got the impression that the game was on kind of timed missions, that you had like 10 minutes to complete a mission and you had to do it before the timer, and it would be a very stressful kind of game. But when I played it, which was a playtest, so the game could change, nothing is set in stone yet. But when I played it, there wasn't a timer, so you actually had a lot of time on the missions, and the missions kind of have a very nice pace to them, where there's some stressful moments and there's also kind of downtime moments where you get to walk around, and there's a lot of anticipation in the game where you're kind of waiting. You actually get a little bit of an impression of that here from the screenshots, where you sometimes are in a room that's completely empty. Of course, there's no UI now, but you also have a map, a mini-map that will indicate you where the enemies are. You can play it as a single player, or you can play it up to 4 players. And of course, the game is about killing aliens. I've been told that it reminds a lot about an old game called Alien Swarm, which I haven't played myself. It's coming soon to early access. All that's official is that it's 2026, and it's also official that they're gonna be having a playtest before that, so you can go sign up for a playtest if you want to try the game. And actually, they don't have an official playtest right now, but I went in and I downloaded the game, tried it out, and you can actually play it now. So if you have a key, you can play it. I think if you go in and sign up now, you probably won't be able to get a key right now, and you'll have to wait for the next playtest. Let's check out the other trailer. I haven't seen that one, but let's check out what's in this one.
Imagine yourself in a universe where danger lurks in every shadow. Your mission? Simple but crucial. Eliminate the relentless Dark Swarm. You won't be alone in this fight. Assault, the king of killing. Engineer, the team's defender. Infiltrator, the intelligence expert. Support, the backbone of the team. Join forces with up to 3 friends in Dark Swarm. The ultimate co-op, tactical, objective-based extraction shooter.
Oh yeah, so of course they showed here the 4 different classes. So it's a game where you can play as 4 different classes. There's an assault, which is of course the kind of heavy gunner. A support, which doesn't have quite as heavy guns, but can still definitely stand on his own. But then has the opportunity to heal your allies, while the engineer has an opportunity to shield their allies. And then there's this one, the blue one, which is called the Infiltrator, and has a little bit more of the stranger kind of weapons and the ability to slow down enemies. All of them have a level, so you start at level 1, and then as you complete missions, then you level up the one character that you're playing. That also means when you shift to another character, you're back at level 1. But I think there was also kind of a shared level between them. So I don't remember what that shared level did. It's not that you're gonna progress and just deal more damage and have more health. I think it unlocks new maps and new difficulties. So you can play the game at 5 different difficulties, and I don't know, can I actually have this at just a small kind of volume? To just kind of give the impression. You can play the game at 5 different difficulty levels and in 4 different maps. So there's this ice world, there's a desert world. This one is kind of a dark fungal world. And you're always this team of soldiers going in to complete some missions for some company. Again, closed alpha, so this is all stuff in development. You can go to their Steam page, and they will have a link here for their Discord if you wanna keep track of news for their Discord, or like for the playtest or the release. That's the place to go. So I know that currently they're working on this, just having an absolute swarm of enemies on the later difficulty levels. So you haven't really seen this on the trailer up here, but that's what they're working on now, to just have that really swarm of enemies by the end. Maybe we'll return to that. I don't think I have any more to say other than when they have a playtest, I would really love to stream that game and hopefully get one of the developers on board to talk about the game. Let's go to the next one, Chronicles Medieval. So this is an interesting one because it's a quite new company. They haven't released anything yet, and now they're developing this huge title. It seems like they're very ambitious about this game and the company. Let me just show the trailer after reading this text. Chronicles Medieval lets you step into a vast dynamic medieval sandbox. Create your character and forge your path from rags to riches. Engage in intense combat, fight for land, glory and legacy, and lead massive armies into epic large-scale battles. Let's watch the trailer.
Thou shalt not kill. So the priests tell us. So the Lord commands. But ambitious men Do not listen. I sought no war, but war found me. I became like them. I took up the sword, prayed I could win redemption through my deeds. But some paths, once taken, have only one ending. I shall find no peace. On this road, there is only death. But that's just my story. Go write your own.
So I believe that is all they've yet shown of the game. This big cinematic trailer and a little bit of a snippet of the gameplay. I think this next video is gonna be the developers talking about the game, which we can get into as well. Let's just take a little bit of a look at the screenshots first. So the company is quite new company, but they hired a bunch of veteran developers from across a lot of bigger titles. I found this. This is on their webpage. They have 100 employees and 1,000 years of combined industry experience. That's to say that actually each employee has 10 years of experience on average. So for a new company to just go out and hire all of their developers with such a massive amount of experience across each of them, that's really interesting, and it's really ambitious. I saw at one point that they were developing multiple titles. It said so on their webpage. I wasn't able to find it just now, but yeah, an experienced team, and they like to kind of highlight this. They have developers from The Witcher, Hogwarts, Hitman, Crusader Kings, Grand Theft Auto, Assassin's Creed, Total War. Yeah, so you have this one as well, Raw Power Mobile. Raw Power Games is aiming to be a beacon in the gaming industry, so it makes total sense for us to start up our own mobile studio alongside our PC game studio. So I don't think they've announced what they're going to be working on for mobile, like which games, but they are also aiming to have a branch that is just developing tools for game engines. So quite ambitious to be making such a huge game and starting up something mobile and starting up a tool branch. But really, really interesting. It looks, this game, Chronicles Medieval, looks a lot like Mount & Blade. Of course, there's not a lot to see about what the game actually is yet from the trailer we just watched, but it does look like it's something.
History books are cool, but what if you could live it? Not just following a script.
Does look like it's something about playing a character and also controlling a few armies. I haven't seen this one. Let's do it. 7 minutes. I'll tune that up and shut up.
History books are cool, but what if you could live it? Not just following a script, actually forge your own medieval chronicle. At Raw Power Games, we're not just making another medieval sandbox. We're creating something deeper, something unpredictable, and most importantly, yours. In this video, we'll give you a closer look into what we're cooking. From systems to swords, castles to communities. This is Chronicles Medieval.
When I think about the tone of the game, of course, we wanted to highlight brutal and rough nature of medieval life and warfare, but we also wanted to not shy away from the visual variety involved in the world. So a variety of colors and styles, quite a vivid world that these people inhabited. Modern media tends to kind of fixate a lot on the dull and gray kind of aspects, but I think medieval life was actually quite colorful.
We would like to create a world that can spark curiosity. So we decided to add enigmatic layers on the settlement, which hopefully can intrigue the players and motivate them to explore the whole world. Chronicle Medieval is kind of like my dream project. I feel super lucky to be able to work with a team who is so talented and experienced and also love medieval history and games like me. I am sure that when the game is finally finished, I myself will spend hundreds of hours playing that.
A great deal of research went into Chronicles Medieval, and I really think what put together the believability of the history was all of the kind of little nuances of characters. So how armor is forged, how it's put together. For clothing and fashion, it would be how things are hemmed and kind of seam patterns. And the concept team put a lot of research into fashion and how that evolved over the time period we're focusing on. One of the most exciting parts was kind of seeing our characters come to life so that then they can start killing each other.
To make the combat feel authentic is challenging, but we have sources, and when we understand the concepts behind all the historical martial arts, then we can have at least a really nice and historical accurate visuality.
Imagination has been my best friend as a combat designer, but here, that's not the case. We have to think about, is it believable? And if it's a yes, we have a solid answer. If it's a no, another round of iterations. Realism doesn't mean it's not fun. While realism is really important for our game, we're not making a simulator, for sure. That means that we do get the freedom to design, let's say, artificial systems to make it even better. We heavily rely on Bjorn's mocapping to add realism.
And everything is nice and enjoyable for the player, also plausible enough for all the historians.
What we're aiming for is to make you feel the brutality, the urgency, and the weight of your decisions. It's a game about killing someone, right? Any combat situation, whether you are in a battlefield or in a duel, you're trying to kill someone or disable someone right now. So we want you to remember that you are not a hero here. You don't have magical abilities that can slaughter multiple people and just change the tide of battle. You are a human being. You are fighting against another human being who's trying to kill you, and you are trying to survive and kill the opponent or multiple opponents around you. So it all boils down to making the right choices in a short amount of time. Every single choice you make could either reward you or punish you.
Do you have the right armor with you, the right weapons? So all the decisions you make, the preparation, and also within the battle. When you're on a duel also, everything counts. Every single attack, every single block will keep you alive or will kill you.
If you were to ask me what I like the most about being an engineer working on Chronicles Medieval, it would be that we very early on made a decision to make all the systems that make up the gameplay and the decision-making systems be part of one whole framework. Today that allows us to be very reasonable about how we approach performance issues, but also how we approach gameplay's interconnectivity. Because the gameplay interconnectivity is really what drives the game and makes it very dynamic for players when they play it.
Chronicles Medieval is a hugely ambitious game. There's a lot of stuff that the player can interact with. Big character gallery of NPCs make meaningful decisions. Our battles are truly grand. So we put the battles into 3 layers. Combat layer, fighting one-on-one. Captain layer, where you command units in your immediate vicinity. Kind of the Braveheart fantasy that we're trying to get to here. And then we have the tactical layer. We call it the general's layer, something that the player will engage with during the pre-battle planning phase. In Chronicles, we really want the player to be able to express himself and do whatever they feel like.
If you want to be someone, if you want to chase something, you could. And we want to, as developers, give you the opportunity to do so. So after you create the character that you want to play as, you're being welcomed into an exploration map that covers a big part of medieval Europe, where you are welcome to freely roam and do essentially what you want. You can go and visit settlements, you can go and visit castles, you can attack caravans, you can chase bandits, you can perform quests. You can also hire companions and have some adventures with them. You can participate in small or big battles. We take you from the top-down view of exploration map and throw you into TPP, where you can feel and see your character and actually be a participant of all the events that are there. So it also feels more immersive, and you can see and experience the amazing world that our artists also built. The part of you being there is an important pillar of what we try to achieve.
Less management, more immersion.
There are multiple different systems that allow players to shape their journey and to also shape the world around them. We also have the entire economy that basically runs underneath the hood and drives all of the economic and trade situation in the world that you as a player can also influence. We are really trying to experiment with these systems to create more of a dynamic and real world.
Chronicles Medieval is a game full of opportunities, and we can't wait to see what you'll do with it. History has already been written, but this time you're holding the pen. Wishlist Chronicles Medieval now on Steam, sign up for our newsletter, and come join our community. Because trust me, we're just getting started.
All right. Hello, Proficient. Glad that you're joining. So that's Chronicles Medieval. Don't know if you catched that from the beginning, Proficient, but that is a game. I thought it was actually from the first trailer. I thought it was going to be a game where you led armies, and now it looks a little bit more like you're also going to be controlling your own character much more. They had some highlighting on duels. So from this one, I thought that you would be kind of controlling all the different units or regiments. But of course, that's just speculation from a very short clip of gameplay at an early stage. But looks like it's going to be a lot more about dueling as well, which is very cool. I don't know if there's anything more to see from the Steam page. Doesn't look like it. So they will be releasing it as an early access in 2026, although still no date yet. That's added to our wish list so that we get the news. They also have a bunch of website links, including a Discord if you wanna follow what they're doing. Let's take a look at the next one. This game here looks like it's up my alley. Can't wait. So I compared it to Mountain Blade, if you've played that one, Mountain Blade Bannerlord, but of course that was also just my speculation. They didn't actually mention any titles that they felt inspired by or that they were gonna lean towards. Let's go straight on to the next one, Sea of Rifts. Now this is a whole other type of production, because this is a small group where Chronicles Medieval is definitely like a big production, 100 employees. This one has had somewhere between 1 and 5 employees for a few years, I think 3 years or so. And at times they've hired someone in for a short amount of time and then had to proceed without them, because it's a small production and they take what they can with the money that they have. It's a naval roguelike RPG where you assemble a motley crew of misfits and sail into a broken ocean to solve the mystery of why the world is falling apart. Engage in tense ship-to-ship combat and experience a new, unique story every time you play. The helm is yours, Captain. There's a demo available, and I think everyone can go grab this demo. But let's start out with their trailer.
So, think you have what it takes to reach the Great Rift? takes out the last one. First thing, find yourself a trusted crew. Keep them happy and in pay if you can. You may be the captain, but they bring the ship to life. Watch the wind and keep your engine ticking. You'll get where you're going. Be sure to outfit your ship well. You'll need more than just cannons to survive these waters. The Sea of Rifts is vast and full of promise and plunder. But beware, it's rarely smooth sailing. The sea has its price. And when you fall, and you will, choose wisely and start again. Fame, fortune, revenge, looking for the truth. Just remember, the sea has a way of helping you find it.
Alright, it actually said demo out now.
So, think you...
So I wonder if that means that the demo is out and available for everyone. I think it will. Now, you could see there's a lot of system goings into this game, and I know that's something that they've talked about, how to convey all of this information without swarming the player with a bunch of UI. I think it is a kind of heavy game in the sense that you have to spend some time just reading a little bit, and there's also like a story element, which I think is quite important for the game. So maybe it's a little bit more of a slow game where you just sit back and relax, and then there are times where you have the battles, and that becomes a bit more chaotic and fast-paced. But I think you have to spend a lot of time looking at stuff like this. So for example, like here there's Kit Nansen, Imperial Barber Surgeon, and he has a bunch of attributes and some traits. He has a daily wage. You can choose to hire them or buy them a drink, and so if you buy them a drink, you'll make them more likely to be hired and perhaps at a lower wage. Now that's just me speculating right now, but then this is your crew overview for your ship, where you can see you have some skills in sailing and mechanical and medicine and so on, and this member would then add some skills to your crew, and you would have to put together a nice crew. So I think this is a lot about managing your crew and then setting out to sea. I got the impression that it's a quite big map, but I'm not sure. I think there are several towns that you also visit. And now in the trailer they mentioned that when you fall and you will, I think that's what they said. When you fall and you will, start again. So I don't know, didn't it also say that it was a roguelike out here? Yeah, roguelike, which means that that's the kind of game where you play through it, you die, you start over, but you have something from the last run. No, this is roguelike, so that actually you start completely over every time. Otherwise it would be roguelite. So there's a small distinction there. I want to say that I will be streaming this game with one of the developers, or probably more of the developers. Oh, I can't click out there, then we'll stop. I will be doing that in a couple of weeks. Probably the 26th, but we haven't finalized the date for that. So we need to get together and write each other here after Christmas holidays. But I will be streaming this game with some of the developers, maybe artist, maybe lead designer, maybe sound designer. I'm not sure. So that'll be pretty exciting. I did try the game once, but I wasn't quite in the mood for this kind of very heavy story-driven. So I didn't play it for more than 20 minutes or so. But I think it seems really, really nice. I'm looking forward to it. Again, I don't think there's anything more to see from their Steam page, but they do have a Discord where you can go and follow them, and you can add the game to your wishlist, so then you will also get notified when it is released. And you can, so there's a demo out and there's a playtest you can also join. So usually for the playtest, then you get to see the latest in development, which is also sometimes a little bit buggy, but it's free to play usually as well. So that's quite nice. Alright. Next one, Mindbreak. I only heard about that one place. And I think it's a solo developer making this one. I think it's just one person. Let's start by reading this. Mindbreak is an exploration-driven, tile-based puzzle adventure game about the escape from a corrupted insane asylum. Play as the supernaturally gifted asylum patients as you build and combine their unique abilities to explore and master the vast interconnected asylum. I don't remember if these tile maps were specifically designed each time or if they were random every time. Let's find the video. Has a very nice look to it. Very, very dark and grim, but also very nice. Let's see the trailer. All right. Actually looked really exciting, I think. I wanted to see, there was something about abilities on each character, so it was something right around here. So, of course, a puzzle game where you have to put together some different pieces to get out. Oh, this one, that's what I wanted to look at. So here it looks like you have 3 characters at this point, and they have different levels, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. And these down here at level 1. But then there's abilities phasing. The subject enters a non-corporeal state, ignoring all spatial barriers. Movement is unrestricted within a single room, but limited to 3 directional shifts before material reintegration is involuntarily triggered. And then you can upgrade. The ability allows intentional reintegration while in phasing state. So I think they showed that then afterwards, that you could kind of teleport through a laser that was moving across the, yeah, this one, moving across the room. I can't say a whole lot more about this game because I only saw it one time. I think it was a single developer who's making it. Maybe we can check out their website, Lost Umbrella Games. Lost Umbrella Games. Oh, well, this is just a Steam website. but let's do a Lost Umbrella Games. So they have a YouTube channel, an X, and a lostumbrellagames.com. That's a very simple website, which also is quite typical for single developers or small teams, and something that hasn't yet been released. It's coming for Windows, Mac, and for the Steam Deck. And that's about it. That's all you can see for now. Wishlist now. Then you go to the Steam page. That's it. Okay. I think that looks really cool. I would like to try and get in contact with the developer of this one, but I don't remember who it was. It was at some event I was at. Someone showed this game, and I just kind of put it on my little list here. This is my own little handmade list of games that I've encountered and just at various events, and just kind of added them to my list. Let's take a look at the next one, Ludus Magnatus. I never met anyone from this. I just heard about it from someone else who had heard a little bird singing about this game somewhere. But this one is a really cool idea. Ludus Magnatus Gladiator Manager Simulator is a classic management experience set in an alternate ancient Rome. Start in Division 7 with one of 16 clubs, recruit fighters, equip them from the market, and climb the ladder through fully simulated seasons and matches. So, I'm starting to see a few similarities in a few of these Danish games. Let me know, what are you seeing? What kind of similarities are you seeing? This Ludus Magnatus Gladiator Simulator is coming in Q3 of 2026. And Contact, let's see, I don't think they released anything else. Indie Developer Studio, about, I think it is a single developer as well. King of the World, maybe they made one other game. The gameplay from Risk in a real-time strategy setting. Fight up to 12 players at once while scheming, backstabbing. Okay, also sounds cool. Let's see the trailer for the Gladiator Simulator. I think this could be one of those games where you can obviously see that it's not made by a big production. So you have stuff like this where some effort has been made into making a nice interface. But like this, for example, this is almost just white text. But where the game might still just be so damn enjoyable. Some of the games have some hints of eldritch horror, stuff to do with the seas and dark fantasy themes. Yeah, definitely. I don't know if that's a Danish thing. Maybe it is. We live close to the sea, so Denmark is surrounded by water on all sides and have many islands. So maybe we do have something to say about the sea. I saw someone also mentioned sometime that all Scandinavian games are about the cold and the dark, and you have games like Limbo. Let me see if can I get out of Steam here. We'll return to the Gladiator in just a moment, but you have a game like Limbo, which is a Danish production, which is white and dark and cold. Gerda, A Flame in Winter, which is a game about Denmark during the Second World War. Denmark was occupied by Germany, so and for some reason they chose to put the game in winter mode. I haven't played this game yet, but you're playing Denmark during the what's it called? It's not called oppression. It's called the occupation of Germany in Denmark, but also cold and white. And do I remember the other Scandinavian? There was a Swedish and Norwegian as well. That there was just like successful games, but about the cold and the dark. So maybe that's the theme. The Gladiator. I really hope that there's some kind of demo coming up. Planned release is Q3. Is there any kind of Discord? No. Update history. Find community groups. This is just about the game. So it has single player and it has online PvP. I wonder if that online PvP, that's probably just through the managements. I think you don't play out the battle. I think the battle is kind of an auto combat where you've chosen your gladiators and you've equipped them beforehand. Let's also take a look at the names of the clubs. It seemed like it was almost like football clubs. You can choose which club that you want to be a part of with your gladiators. Where was that? It was here. Choose your club. Arelate Arrows, Bracara Braves, Bertigala Bulls, Valencia Vipers, Gades Gladiators, Italica Ironclads. Yeah. I wonder if there's gonna be a playtest or a demo for this. That would be nice. And I wonder if I can find the developer. Contact Games. So there's a Steam link and there's a CVR. So you know where they are located in Denmark. Their address as well. Okay, should be possible to reach out to them in some way, but there's also Contact Games in Brazil, but also in Denmark. Okay, so that's 2 different Contact Games. Maybe I can find the right one. Hopefully there is a demo at some point. You say, yeah, I hope so. I'll try and reach out to the developer of this one for sure, because I love games like this where you just. So I also love those big productions, but I also love games like this where it's just you can really feel the person behind the game, and yeah, you can see how. I don't know. There's just something charming about this. For example, like these names and all these pictures being the exact same, and all the models being the exact same, but then with the different helmet. I don't know. I love that. Let's move on. I don't think I can find anything more about the game. Of course, you could check out like YouTube. Some of them, they do have some of these smaller productions. They try to do a lot of development videos. Oh, actually, is that this one? I trained up a gladiator and destroyed the tournament. 5 years ago. Ludus Magnatus. Ludus Mortis. Ludus Magnus. Is that this one?
What's happening, everybody? I'm Growmaster. Welcome to Ludus, a gladiator, basically type of management game in a sense. Like we basically.
Oh, cool. Okay, so someone else has been getting into the game at some point. I won't be showing that video. I'll be moving on, but yeah. So there's something on YouTube to be found for that game. I'll move on to Pigeon Guild. I'm so excited for Pigeon Guild. I talked to one of the concept artists for this game, and I absolutely love the idea. You're a postman, and you're gonna be delivering mail. And the artwork for the game looks like this, which I think is super adorable. It has almost like a Ghibli feel to it. Pigeon Guild is a non-combat, single-player action RPG where you play as, I guess that's a Spanish Jules Corso or something, a rookie cadet in Cassandria's most prestigious airborne postal service. Navigate your flying cargo boat through a world of floating islands where every delivery tells a story. Oh, the trailer already started. So I know that this trailer is in development, I should say. Kind of missed the first bit of it. So there's not a lot shown yet. I did try a development build of it, where you have that ship and you can fly across the sky to all these islands, but not yet. I didn't try a whole lot of story or anything. But I don't know if I can even say that because I heard it in a talk with somebody, and maybe it's not official yet. I want to say a few things about this game. I don't think I can, because what I do know about it is not really official. So that'll have to wait until next week. Next week I am being joined by one of the developers, and we're gonna look at the game that they released in 2025, which is Helldive. But then I hope we'll also be diving into Pigeon Guild. I guess that depends on whether or not they have a build that they want to show off at that time. You're saying how charming. I've also never heard of an action RPG without combat, so that's cool. Yeah, I wonder what does that mean. I also noticed that non-combat action RPG. So I suppose you can get a lot of action from storms. This picture here almost seems to show some kind of storm, and you have just this concept art, which is just it looks like your character is on the boat and flying through a blizzard, trying to figure out where they need to go with the mail. And you know, it's important to get the mail, out. But also this one, if there are certain sections where you have to traverse dangerous lava pools. And of course, it seems like you get to meet some friends along the way. And maybe just chill out a little bit in the sun when you've delivered your mail. Let's see if there's anything else to show. So planned release date is Q3 of 2026. Of course, this is a planned release date, and those tend to never really hold true. So maybe we'll be looking at Q4. I don't know. Single player game. And actually no Discord group. Visit the website. Let's see, you're leaving Steam. Yeah, sure, let's do that. Pigeon Guild is a single player. This seems like the same kind of text. Solve puzzles and use your detective skills to ensure every package reaches its owner. Explore a vibrant world and discover that every delivery tells a tale. Yeah, so maybe you end up with every package, you end up with a little bit of a side mission and you meet some characters along the way. Probably not more to show in this one. Pigeon Guild log. So our first announcement, it's about time, and is there a better way? Hello world. We are working on a beautiful corner. Let's see this last one. So there is a YouTube production video. It's 14 minutes, so I won't be showing that one to
Hi
full,
everyone,
but
it's me, Tim, and today I want to talk about game.
Looks like mostly a talking video. Kind of looks like a nice artwork and style to the game as well. But yeah, I think we'll leave Pigeon Guild for now. And if you're excited about this one, tune in next week where I will get one of the developers on board and talk about either Helldive or Pigeon Guild. I'm hoping for Pigeon Guild, but we'll see. I have to contact them again here after Christmas holidays. Next one on the list is Tracebound, and that's a kind of smaller production as well. It is, I think, 3 or so people who made Tracebound, and they showed that at another game event I was at, and explained that you're in a world of giants, I think, and you're kind of skating on the giants' veins.
Long ago.
Let's see. Tracebound is an atmospheric, fast-paced ice skating game. Slide and leap across the giant's colossal body, shattering its shackles to restore nature's movement. Oh, this one. This is interesting. Publisher Daddio. So, Daddio, that is a how can you say, a sort of institute in Denmark that helps students create games. So as part of an education, a student can apply to get into Daddio, which is a program of half a year. I think it's half a year. And you get into a team of 10 to 15 people or so, where some of them are programmers, some of them are artists, some of them are sound designers, and so on. So you get into a team from 8 different universities and then make a game. So I suppose this is a game that is a student project but turned into a full production game. And then they've probably formed a company called Kettleless. But let us try and just see their trailer and how they want to highlight their game.
Long ago, giants roamed freely. In the wake of every step, life bloomed. People too had their place. So they made a choice. What they could not control, they contained. And as the giants stilled, so too did the world. But there is one who can break the stillness. Her name is Aior.
Alright, so that's Tracebound. You're gonna be skating. It's a skater game across a giant's body. And it's not that I know much more about it. Planned release date to be announced, but oh yeah, I remember where I saw this game. I saw it at an event that highlighted games coming in 2026. So that's how I know that it's coming in 2026. But apparently that's not even official on Steam. Is this game relevant to you? They have an Instagram, a YouTube, and a TikTok. Let's try visiting their website. That one, their website is on YouTube, and it looks like they have a bunch of different videos kind of highlighting development videos. This one is probably, I think that's
we are making a video game in just 35 days. And here we are. We did it. Tracebound has been out for a few days now, and people love it. We even made a big presentation for the gaming industry and showed our gameplay trailer. And if you haven't seen the trailer, seriously, what are you waiting for? Go watch it. We'll keep working on Tracebound, and a Steam release is coming soon. Even though many of us won't be seeing each other again, it's been an incredible experience making a game together in just 35 days. Lastly, from all of us at Catalyst, thank you. Your support meant everything, especially on the hard days. We are making a video game.
Okay. I'll leave Tracebound here. Go check it out yourself if you want to see more. There's definitely something on YouTube and other media. Next one, Sparrow Warfare. I already streamed Sparrow Warfare once with the developer. That was such a lot of fun. They are 2 developers making that game, and actually that game is currently available as a playtest. You can go play it. I installed it yesterday, played it today just to see that it's up. Let's go to the Steam and show Sparrow Warfare. But yeah, I did a stream with one of the developers earlier, so you can go back and watch that. Unfortunately, I had a pretty poor microphone, so after that stream I bought a new one. But let's read this text. Free the birds in fierce strategic deck builder Sparrow Warfare. Combine sets of tiles to progress, unlock wild tiles to make crazy combos, and lead your magnificent bird army to freedom. So these are 2 developers, each of them with quite some experience. I know that one of them has worked on Baldur's Gate 3. There was another, I think they also worked on Divinity maybe. You place these birds and you have a lot of different cards or tiles available to you. It's the game is inspired by Mahjong, which used to be around tiles traditionally. Let's see the trailer. Let me just make sure that the quality is not auto, but way up.
In Sparrow Warfare, you play combinations of 3 tiles. These tiles can be all the same value or 3 in a row. 1 or even 2 of the tiles can be wild tiles. Tiles that have special actions. We're talking buffs, powerful attacks, and deep synergies. You'll need them. You see, you are only a tiny sparrow. The evil storyteller has trapped all of the other birds in Mahjong tiles. And now you, little rebel, you fly through the lands to free them. Each freed bird thanks you with a reward. These rewards are how you develop your deck and gain new abilities. Grow stronger, gather your followers, combine wild tiles, and lead the way to freedom. This is Sparrow Warfare.
All right. So Sparrow Warfare, if you want to see a stream where I talk to the developer, I have one already, and it should be able to find both on Twitch and YouTube. It was my first steps into the game, and then joined by the developer who kind of just walked me through how to play the game and what they were thinking about the game, what they were developing, which was a bunch of fun, at least to me. They did say the artwork is still kind of a work in progress, but I think the gameplay of the game they were quite satisfied with that. Probably not done, but I think they liked the idea of where it was going. So you have attack tiles and defend tiles, and if you get 3 of those together, like here, 4 defend tiles, you can play them to gain 4 defense. And then there are kind of special tiles. So this one, flame. If you play with flame 1, 2, and 3, then you have a streak, and that will add flame, which will damage every turn. And then you had, let me see if I can find that. They had, now it started the video. Then it had these ones called wild tiles, which are all kinds of different weirder abilities. So lure out the next opponent tile, or draw a tile for each follower. These ones are your followers, the birds that you have already freed. And that's a really cool game, and I think so there is a playtest open now. You can go and play the game, and I think what they're testing now is when I played the game, they were testing the Song of Flame, I think it was called. So they were testing kind of this flame ability. Now when I entered the game, I couldn't find the flame, but I found something called, maybe it was called Song. So they're working on 4 different aspects. Maybe it's not earth, wind, fire, and water. I think it was flame and water, song, and the 4th one. I don't recall the 4th one. Planned release date somewhere in 2026. Again, you can go check out the Discord. There's actually quite an active Discord, and what's also super cool is that you can play the game every day. There's a new combination of 3 challenges. I want to see up here in these screenshots. You can see a challenge if any one of them has it. No, maybe in the video.
Buffs, powerful attacks, and deep synergies. You'll need them. You see,
No.
gain new abilities.
But every day there's a new challenge in the game, and you can play it and then can score point, and they have a leaderboard about how many points you scored this game, this day, through the daily run, and you can then try and compete either with yourself or with others to try and get a bigger score every time. They also made a bunch of videos that they put out where they play the game during those daily flights, or daily runs. They call them daily flights, to kind of walk through the game. I think Shah, who was streaming with me, mentioned that all these pictures on the tiles are they're real pictures that she then edited to make them look like they were more drawn. For example, this guy, this is a real photography that was then edited to look more drawn, and also combined with different other images. There's also this one. This is also different images combined and then somehow filtered to have this kind of look. But she also said that she wasn't an artist and she didn't consider this to be the final art. And I think she said that at some point they want to find an artist who can edit the game. And I don't know what they're aiming for. I think the art style is quite cool as it is already. So I guess they'll be keeping some of the same, but just kind of touching it up. I think that's about it. It's single player, but there are leaderboards, so that's kind of how you compete. And then they have that Discord group where you can chat about how people defeat the different daily runs and nice combinations to make and how to play. And it seems like an active Discord already now, even though the game is not even out yet. They also said that they have the players that they do have, they seem to be really taken with the game. and they seem to be coming back all the time, every day for another run. Next one on the list, that is another big one. This is James Bond 007 First Light. Let's go 007 First Light. There it is.
I'm not loving the odds.
Let's start out with the trailer after reading this one. Earn the Number. 007 First Light is a thrilling espionage action adventure game from IO Interactive. IO Interactive, that's the Danish company that made Hitman. They are now a company in Denmark, Sweden, Turkey. They're in Istanbul, and I think they're also in Brighton in the UK. Follow James Bond as a young, resourceful, and sometimes reckless recruit in MI6 training program. Discover an origin story of the world's most famous spy. So this is such a cool game just from this text, because IO Interactive, they made Hitman, and if you don't know Hitman, that's a game where you are a spy and it's not an action game where you go around shooting all the time. There are guns, but it's mostly about what's it called? It's a stealth game, so it's about walking around and completing the mission in a way you figure out yourself. They're really good at placing objects all around the map that you can use, and there are many paths to choose, so you can kind of choose how you complete the mission that's set before you. Typically, you have to assassinate a certain target. So, for IO Interactive to be making a James Bond game, that's already just going to be a super cool take on James Bond. And now, of course, they get to make a game, a story where James Bond is in the training program. So he's not yet a 007. You have to earn the number. Let's watch their trailer. There we go.
I'm not loving the odds.
I've had worse.
Well, in that case.
Well, what are we waiting for? No sign of 009.
We need to inform M.
No time. I'm going after him. Make him call off the attack.
Are you out of your mind?
I'll be careful. He'd bin the phone.
Go to the security room, first floor.
And you are?
Rob Mingley.
He's with me.
Come on, Moneypenny. If I lose the trail, we'll never know who they're working for.
Oi, you lads got a faulty coffee machine?
I hope I'm not interrupting anything.
You're not. Damien, meet.
Bond. James Bond.
If 009 slips through our fingers, we're the last line of defense.
Someone just tried to kill me.
Tell me you caught him.
Any sage advice?
Play nice.
Always.
All right. Of course, IOI is a huge company with hundreds of employees in 4 different locations. This is going to be a huge production, and it's coming 27 May. So there is actually a release date for this game. I wanted to see this specifically. I was so happy to see that there is a car chase scene. So when I heard that the IOI was making a James Bond game, I thought Hitman is a spy game, and what they don't have that James Bond has is a car chase scene. In a James Bond movie, there's always a car chase scene, and so if Hitman had a car chase scene, it would almost be James Bond already. And well, here we have it. There's a car chase scene in First Light.
Any sage advice?
So look forward to the end of May and take a little bit of holiday and play James Bond. Man, you're saying proficient maced. It's been a while since I've heard the 007 theme, and these variations were super satisfying. Yeah, absolutely. I love that as well, actually. When you're kind of watching through it, and then when does it drop? Is it during the car chase scene? It's also interesting that you say variation, because that's true. In every James Bond movie, there's a little bit of a variation to the theme. So if you are a James Bond fan, you'll notice those differences. I can't say that I'm so deep into James Bond that I will notice all those smaller variations. Let's take another look.
Someone just tried to kill me.
Tell me you caught him.
Any sage advice?
Play nice.
Always.
Actually, I have a few different things to say about this, because I know a few sound developers, and I've talked a lot about sound design, and there's some really cool things in games with sound design. Obviously, this is a trailer, so they've been able to kind of put the drop and the beat at certain points in the video, and that's the same that you can do for a movie. But for a game, you can do sound and music interactively. So when you enter a certain room, you can trigger certain sounds or music. You can also have, let's say you're in this room and you walk into the corridor, then you shift from one music track to another, but you can make sure that the music tracks, they keep the same beat and they change on the beat. So there was this clip. Now, I'm beginning to speculate a little bit, but at this clip, you're driving, and then you're hitting this other truck after a what's that called? A jump. And notice that the music is hitting its beat right as you land after the jump. That's something that they could be doing in the game. Now, obviously, this is trailer, so that's different, but I can already imagine that feeling that you're driving and then, let's say after such a jump, that's when the James Bond theme hits, and that would just be so powerful. I'll just play that short clip one more time, and then I promise I'll stop looking at the car chasing. But that's so damn satisfying. I'm really looking forward to this. This could be a game where you have the total mix of everything: James Bond and spy, espionage, action. Also looks like you'll be visiting Thailand, maybe? Aren't these very typical for Thailand, these kind of structures? Of course, that's also a big part of James Bond. He always has to go to all kinds of insane locations for his missions. So... And also all kinds of crazy characters, of course. But what looks like Thailand... Anything else? What's this? Switzerland or Austria, maybe? The Alps? There's a flag there. I'm not a flag expert, but... So that would be my guess. Germany, Austria, Switzerland. Well, it wasn't a German flag, but the mountains. Let's see. First Light... Bauma reveal trailer. Of course, this is a big production. You'll find plenty of stuff here. They also have a bunch of different websites that you can go visit for more information. I think what I'll do now is just watch that second trailer that they had here, and then maybe leave it at that. Let's watch this one.
His parents cut their own rope to save him. He watched them fall, then found his way off that mountain. He was 11 years old.
He then started a grand tour of every major boarding school in Britain.
Always at the top of his class.
Always at odds with authority. Same thing in the Navy.
His superiors all praise his instincts.
And they're all in need of early retirement. Nobody knows what to do with him, Mom.
No, and I suspect he feels the same way. But what he did in Iceland...
What he did in Iceland was insubordination. It was ill-disciplined, utterly reckless. He only survived thanks to blind luck. Give me one good reason to put him in the program, Mom.
I think you just covered them all, Greenway. It's really quite simple. Bond is a bullet without a target. Let's give him one.
Do you have an appointment?
The name's Bond.
James Bond. He's with me.
And you are? Don't think we've had the pleasure.
Now let's not get ahead of ourselves, James.
So you shouldn't have.
We're facing a situation of the utmost delicacy. I need all my pieces on the board.
009 is a master manipulator. Whatever the endgame is, we won't see it coming.
Jet lag gets me every time.
She's not your friend, Bond. She's an asset.
With respect, Mom. To hell with that. Tell me, what do you do, James? Lately, headhunting. I suppose this is another teachable moment.
All right, definitely a few things to say about this and highlight as well. There's definitely that James Bond kind of humor, which is both good and bad. But for a game that's to imitate the James Bond movies, I think it's lovely that they have that in there. I want to see this character.
Same thing in the Navy.
His superior.
Who is that? I can recognize that voice. So Greenway, First Light. Let's see if we can find First of the character Lenny James role. I'm looking for the voice actor, and actually the voices for all the characters sounded quite nice. Lenny Kravitz, the Pirate King Bonova, known for The Walking Dead and Line of Duty, Lenny James. There'll probably be quite a few well-known actors for that game. Oh yeah, I remember now. Doesn't he plays a part in the movie Snatch? Lenny James, Snatch. Let's see. Yes, there he is. Okay. Well, that was an off track. That's where I know this actor from, Lenny James. Apparently, he's more known for a bunch of other things. Oh yeah, there it is, Snatch. Okay, so that's what I got from from watching the James Bond movie, the James Bond trailer. Also, there was a little bit more of gameplay of him sneaking around, and there was a chess scene. So for me, James Bond is also a lot about how James Bond can do every kind of sport.
Whatever the end game is, we won't see it.
So here you see chess. So James Bond will always meet the villain and beat the villain in any kind of sport. He can do golf, he can do skiing, he can do fencing. James Bond can do every kind of sport, and from seeing this, I guess we won't be getting a chess fight, but I think actually that would be so nice if there was a chess. You had to beat someone at chess to progress a level. We probably won't get that, but that would be so much fun. Let's say there's a 5-minute timer on this chess watch. I actually have this chess watch. I have one that looks exactly like this, bought in Copenhagen. I wonder if, since they're also in Copenhagen, if they have the same one, or if that's just very common make. Maybe it's just very common. Okay, that's enough of sidetracks. You can check out this game more. There's a bunch more to find. I will continue on to Dino Lords. Dino Lords is a game sort of like the Warcraft, the old Warcraft games. Dino Lords combines real-time strategy, city building, and action RPG combat in the genre hybrid hack and strat. Build your stronghold, command human and dinosaur armies, and fight as the Lord shaping a new age of warfare. So they initially started development of this game as a new type of real-time strategy game inspired by Warcraft, where you had a hero that had abilities. Like in Warcraft 3, you had those heroes that were almost an army on their own because they had powerful abilities. They started creating the game that way, and that was the type of game that they wanted to make. And at some point, someone got the idea to put in dinosaurs. So they were going to be fighting, I think, the English and the Scandinavian in a Viking invasion of the UK, and then they put in dinosaurs. So the Vikings, they found dinosaur eggs and they bred dinosaurs, and they're bringing dinosaurs to war against the UK. And that sort of just turned the whole game project around, and the title became Dino Lords, and yeah, that's what the game about. Let's see here.
When the Northmen came, they brought not only axe and fire, they came bearing our extinction. In the year 986, the Northman Eric the Red unearthed eggs of a forgotten age, sealed in Greenland's ice. The Northmen bent those beasts to their will. Nights fell, villages burned, kingdoms broke, hope withered. But beasts can be broken and turned upon their masters. Bound together, steel and scale. Evolve your kingdom. Build your stronghold. Command your forces. And breed a new type of warrior. For whoever controls the dinosaurs controls the battlefield. A new age is upon us. The age of Dino Lords. Sign up for the closed alpha. And wishlist now on Steam.
Yeah, you're saying crazy. It is crazy. It has the same effect always, like Vikings, dinosaurs invading England. That has a punch to it. But apart from that, it's actually a nice game. I played it during the last playtest. I played it for 3-4 hours or so. It was a lot of fun. It is your typical real-time strategy game where you build a little base, you are attacked, and you counterattack. Then they did show a campaign map, didn't they? Is there a screenshot? No, there's no screenshot of the campaign map, but so there is a campaign map where you kind of choose which map you go into, and then through fighting your way through the campaign, you unlock more and more dinosaurs that you can bring in to battle against your enemies. And when I played the playtest, there was only the campaign mode. There wasn't the there wasn't any kind of skirmish game or multiplayer game. Is it actually going to be a multiplayer game? It's only listed as a single player game. So I don't know if it's gonna be multiplayer. When I think about RTS, I always think multiplayer, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's strictly single player.
Beasts can be broken.
Okay, I can't find the campaign map, but yeah, you choose different areas and you kind of reconquer England after it's been taken by the Vikings, because the Vikings, they took England with their dinosaurs. Now you have to reconquer it. Saying coming soon to early access, so that's sometime in 2026. There's no further specific release date. If there is a playtest at some point, then I'll play that and try and get the developers on the stream to talk about the game. It says you can play the Dino Lords playtest now, and I did that yesterday, and I was only able to play the tutorial, which is like half an hour or so, and then I couldn't play in the campaign, and I think that's because there's not really a playtest open right now. The game is still available. Maybe it's because I played in an earlier playtest, so maybe if you weren't part of that, maybe you cannot maybe you can't start a playtest now, but then you can sign up if there's gonna be another one before their release. Maybe there is, I'm not really sure. Let's flip through a few of the screenshots. So yeah, you get to build walls and you get to destroy walls, and obviously you have different dinosaurs that can tackle these problems. So you have flyers, you have raptors, and then you have some more heavy dinosaurs that can break down the walls. It looks like they are gonna be using stegosaurs for building. I didn't get to that point. You have quite a few troops that you control, and oh yeah, probably one of the most different things about this game is that you control your hero with the keys, WASD keys, instead of the mouse. So you don't click your hero and then mouse click the hero where to go, which is a big difference from most of the games in this genre. But it makes sense because you are quite focused around your character, and then your army is something you have kind of on the side, and you control that army with the mouse, if I remember correctly. There's also a skill tree outside of the games. When you go out, I believe you had skill points that you spent to kind of improve your character between games. And maybe that's why it's not a multiplayer game. Although they could do that, there are ways to do that. But yeah, then you end up, you can see here down here that you have different skills to use. So maybe this is a speed increase, and maybe this is a ranged attack. And then you can see the health of your lord. Let's take the second trailer. I think that's this one.
The Viking raids could get any worse. The Danes are coming! You, a lord of England, must tame the land. Establish a thriving village and keep it supplied as it grows. Construct fortifications and build a mighty castle. Train your forces and prepare to man the ramparts. For our enemies have harnessed an ancient terror. In this world of steel and scale, only the bravest leaders, the ones who can defend their strongholds, the ones who can raise an army, the ones who can fight together, will be known as Dino Lords. Wishlist now on Steam.
Oh yeah, I had two things I wanted to say about this.
We didn't think.
One of them is what you see here in the beginning. The lord that you play, let's see here. You actually, as the lord, you can go out and cut down trees, and you can hunt deer. And that's something you typically do at the beginning of the game, because you then get your villagers that can do the same. Up here you can see a villager that's cutting down a tree, and they will do that kind of passively on the side. But then you can choose to help them gather wood. If you're really low, you can use your lord on getting wood quicker. What was the last thing? I don't recall. But if this is coming for a playtest, I'll try and reach out to the developers of this, see if they will be on a stream. This is the second game that was published by Ghost Ship Publishing. Darkswarm, the other one, is also published by Ghost Ship Publishing. Now this one is developed by Northplay. So Ghost Ship Games, they made a game called Deep Rock Galactic, and they've been very successful. So they've now made a Ghost Ship Publishing branch, and they have been publishing at least 4 games, I know. This Dino Lords that's coming this year, and Darkswarm coming this year, and last year Spell Rogue, or was that in 24? Maybe it was way back in 24 already. Time is flying. Of course, another Discord website, and I don't think I have any more to add about Dino Lords. Next up, Marrow. That is a game by 2 developers. 2 developers, one of which lives in Denmark, so that's why it's listed on this this list of games coming from Denmark, but the other one is actually in Canada. And the developer in Denmark is Swedish. So we'll claim it for Denmark on account of one of the developers being working in Denmark. But developer Monster Moon, they made one previous game. This time they're making a virtual reality shooter. So wield deadly weapons and master high-speed parkour combat in intense virtual reality shooter Marrow. Slide on walls, dash through the air, and charge headfirst into danger to get the upper hand as you rain down destruction on the foul vermin onslaught. This was the first virtual reality game I ever played, and if you know stuff about virtual reality, you'll know that some people, they get a little bit seasick or motion sick from playing virtual reality games. And when I say that this virtual reality is sort of inspired by Doom, which is a very fast-paced shooter where you move a lot and you turn a lot and you shoot a lot, this is a very fast-paced game and virtual reality. Let me show you the trailer. Okay, Marrow, super cool game, super cool aesthetics. Also, the aesthetics remind a little bit of the previous game they made, which was a marble roller, so something a little bit different. This time it's shooting, and it's fast-paced shooting, and it's a lot of fun. Personally, for me, for the first time trying virtual reality, this was a bit too much. But if you have already tried virtual reality, then, I mean, it was a fun game. It was a really fun game, and I played it for quite a while. And then afterwards I got a little nausea. There are, I don't know, 10, 20 different kind of enemies that you meet in 5 or so different kind of areas. And then there are also bosses, which I didn't fight myself, but I saw one of the boss fights. I think this one up here is a boss fight, and it's really cool the way it moves. It doesn't use animations; it uses procedural animations instead. So it doesn't have a defined movement. Instead, it kind of tracks the environment and makes sure to place all of its legs according to the environment that it's on. You have a lot of abilities in this game to just kind of move around on the map. So there's a lot of sliding, jumping. You have a grapple hook. Can I do like that? Maybe a little bit louder than that. So you can dash also while you're in the air, and you can see sometimes the character will kind of do a speed jump, and so you feel very, very free. And I think many virtual reality games now, I'm no virtual reality expert, but I think that they tend to be a little bit more slow on account of just it being more difficult to make a fast-paced virtual reality. I'm not too sure actually here. Oh, there's the bus. That was the bus. Let me just see again. So you can see how it's sort of placing its legs up on the wall. Okay, there's not a lot of movement right there. Let's see if we go down here. It's a single player game, and I think they made on their YouTube a few videos kind of highlighting here different parts of the development. Oh, you can also see their previous game, which has a bit of the same kind of art style to it, but you play as a marble and you're a marble roller. That one is a free game, so you can try that one out. And then this one, I don't know actually how much that's gonna cost or anything, but we'll see when it comes out. But then they have kind of these videos showing off different enemies. Oh, that's in Christmas. I guess this is one of the maps when you look at the map from afar. Everyone likes for this one. Yeah, so you can see there are kind of different enemies and maps. Blood Pool is then one of the maps. Oh, did I go completely out? There we go. Wishlist now and follow. You can follow them, I guess, on Blue Sky and Instagram, or check out Monster Moon for also their previous game. Contains animated violence against fantasy creatures. So that's always fun when you have to publish something. You have to describe the kind of violence that you have. This is violence against fantasy creatures. This game requires a virtual reality headset in order to play, so you can't play it without. Coming soon, sometime in 2026. Boomer shooter, parkour, and I don't think I have anything else to say about Marrow. Lastly, it's gonna be Out of Words, and that one is not coming on Steam, but it's coming on Epic Games. So I'm not too familiar with the Epic Games Launcher, but let's try Epic Games Launcher. Out of Words, that looks so cool. So it is a handcrafted stop motion animated game, in the sense that they created these physical models and they use those physical models in the game. I don't know if they animate inside the game or if they capture all animations first, but I did find a behind the scenes video, so we'll watch that afterwards. Yeah, let's go into this one. I actually don't know much about the game. I think it's a story-driven adventure game. Also, footage not final.
You? What were your names again? Well, I can't call you and can I? I shall give you names.
Naomi... name or Naomi? Yes, Naomi! And you, Bag Boy. Yes, children, I have a feeling. It's a feeling of destiny. Follow me, Naomi and Bag Boy. Destiny awaits!
Oh my, that looks amazing from just the art style. Of course, that didn't show a whole lot of gameplay, but it is such a unique art style that that's just gonna be cool no matter what. This one wasn't in the trailer, but some kind of house. I don't know anything about the story, actually. I know... I think Kong Orange is a computer games studio, and Wired Fly, I think those are just an animation studio. Otherwise, it's the other way around. But so this is a game that's being made as a combination of a game studio and an animation studio that probably. Maybe have already done like animation for games, but at least they have done animation for movies. It said it was a co-op adventure for 2. So I suppose you can't play it single player. Find your lost voices in a co-op platformer adventure together with a friend via online cross-platform or couch co-op. Explore the wild, colorful realm of Vocabulantis as Kurt and Carla in a story about the first time they held hands, where everything you see is crafted by hand. From puppet masters to programmers to poets, this is the unique game development team behind Out of Words. From the mind of acclaimed poet Morten Søndergaard, co-developers Wired Fly and Kong Orange carefully designed and handcrafted each stop-motion character, environment and co-op mechanic to tell you a story with distinctly human touch. I guess this game can find a lot of love in an age where we are experiencing a lot of AI content. So we're already now seeing like a lot of content made by AI that we can no longer really tell if it's even real or not. And to get something that is distinctly handcrafted, I think that's gonna gain a lot of popularity. You need to solve physics. You need to solve physics-defying puzzles in ancient catacombs and perform daring stunts among the clay skyscrapers of Naumburg. Out of Words is a journey for 2, and this adventure will require cooperation, communication, and perfect timing between you and your co-player. Coming for Windows. Yeah, seems to only be coming for Windows. Available soon, with no more specific date than 2026. Actually, it doesn't say 2026 here. I don't know where I saw that Out of Words is coming in 2026, but I'm pretty sure that that's official because I have this list that I made. I also have another list with games I think are coming in 2026, but I didn't want to put it here because I don't know if those are official. I also wanted to show that behind the scenes video. Let's watch this one first because maybe that's one. Otherwise we'll switch to YouTube. But let's see this. there it was, coming in 2026. Okay, let me just switch to a video I found here. How we designed a stop-motion video game creature out of words. So this is a 2.5 minute long video where they take you through how they do it.
And we were like, this is gonna be a fast character. We're gonna do it quick and dirty because it's only meant to hide. It should be like a few step animation where it stands and then hides. But as soon as the stop motion animator got hand of it, it just got out of hand. The main characters, they kind of fall into a meadow. We had this idea that we wanted to show like an extraordinary world, like a fantastic world that isn't like the city that they come from, and we needed like a little creature to be the impersonation of nature and this new world. And we invented something called a rustling. Rustling is this little grassy guy that lives on in a meadow or the low waters of the swamp, and he's the sound of the wind in the grass and just a person that comes from that. In a lot of swamps there are these parts that are a pile of grass that has been built over the years, and you can jump from one of them to another, and they get this little bald spot on the top where your foot will hit them, and that's why our little character, he also got bald from everybody stepping on it. We wanted like a little shy creature, and if our main characters get close to him, he will try to hide from them, but maybe he's also a little curious, but not to the extent where it's danger for him. I did a drawing, it was in 2D, then Marley did a character that was in real world 3D, but the real personality comes from the animation. As soon as the stop motion animator got hand of it, it just got out of hand because we're constantly getting new ideas from just looking at the character, and suddenly he had a running cycle and started having a discussion club with other rustlings, and he hid and then ran away. That's a very fun part of the process. I'm very happy with the end result of the rustling, with all the things coming together, the physical build character and the animation. It really got some personality that we strive for.
Interesting that that's the next one being suggested, casting The Office.
At the start of the sign.
This is just my streamer channel. So, well, there it is. That's Out of Words, which just looks absolutely gorgeous. Can't say anything other than that. I'm just really looking forward to that, just because it's such a unique kind of look. I have seen nothing about the actual gameplay other than what we've seen now. It's an adventure, it's a platformer, there's some puzzle to it. It's going to be really interesting to see what kind of gameplay is coming out of that. Providence. No, I don't know if that's 2026. That's an upcoming game, but it's maybe not 26. That's all the games that I know have a release date in 26. Again, Sea of Rifts. I am talking to the developers of that one about joining the stream. Probably they will join the stream on the 26th. Pigeon Guild, maybe next week. At least we're looking at Helldive, which is the game that they released in 25. If they have a build available, I would love to try out the Pigeon Guild as well. So I'm being joined by one of the developers of that game on the stream, and they'll be able to talk about the game, about their thoughts on the game and their process behind it and where they're going with it. Then on the 19th, probably it's gonna be Void Crew, so I'm also talking with them. They do want to join the stream and talk about Void Crew, which was released in 25 or 24. Multiplayer game. And my favorite mobile game, I am gonna have the developer of Planet Life on the stream at some point, probably February 2nd. So there's a lot of probably right now, and that's because it's been the holidays and I've reached out to people and they've responded that they do want to be on the stream at some point and talk about their games, how they made them, what they thought about them, what they're making next. Some of the games have already been released, some of them are games in development. And we'll see, depending on who joins, if it's an audio developer, if it's an art developer, or a gameplay developer. We'll talk about whatever they know about their game. And that's all I have for today. Again, you can play Darkswarm and Sparrow Warfare and Dino Lords right now. I was actually able to open the games and play those. I think everyone can play Sparrow Warfare. Maybe it's only for Darkswarm, maybe it's only those who have previously been in a playtest, because they don't officially have the playtest open now. The servers are just still up, so you can go in and play, even though I think they just sometimes use the servers themselves, so they're just keeping them running. And for Dino Lords, I was able to play like the first tutorial, but then I couldn't play the campaign, and that's probably because it's not officially a playtest right now. Oh yeah, and Sea of Rifts has a demo out now, so you can play a demo already. Probably around 2 hours of the game or so. And I don't think there are any of the others you can play. But I'll try to reach out to all of these and see if any of the developers of these games wanna be on a stream and talk about their game. Otherwise, I'll go back in time and find some of the previous titles of previously released games, like Limbo, Inside, Deep Rock Galactic. There's an ocean of games from Denmark. There are plenty to choose from, so we'll see what comes on the channel. I'll always prioritize streaming with developers so that they can explain their process behind the game as it is being played on the channel. I think that adds an interesting element to the stream, and it's always so much fun to hear about how they made it. For example, like seeing a video about how they made this stop motion for Out of Words. Yes. Other than that, I don't have anything more. So see you next time.